on because, we've been chatting a bit. Let's get through some of these stories. And let's talk about Sunny Hostin. Now, last week we talked about on the show that Sunny Hostin's husband, Manuel Hostin, a.k.a. Manny Hostin, or I should say Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was one of the people that have been accused of getting caught up in a RICO fraud case. So it's him and 180 other defendants. They said that they committed federal insurance fraud. And I've been saying for the longest, okay, with all this tea coming out, and I saw on social media, especially the Twitter, everybody was going in on Sunny and all that stuff because I understand how y'all feel. A lot of y'all don't like the stuff that she says and her policies and stuff over there on The View. So you're going to get a lot of those Trump supporter types or those who are Elon Musk fans who are going to find any excuse to go at her with any little thing. And a lot of people were in the comments making that about her, but this is about her husband. This is not about her, but she has said something. Now, I was going to say, now, some people thought that she was going to go on The View and talk about it. Whenever something this major happens on The View, they don't bring that up. They will act like there's a big elephant walking behind them, and they will act like that elephant ain't there. So I know some of y'all probably thought that maybe the co-host will bring it up. They're not going to do that out of respect for Sunny. You're not going to hear Anna bring it up. You're not going to hear Alyssa, or you damn sure ain't going to hear Sarah. And Whoopi Goldberg, whenever it comes to any kind of things with celebrities, she act like her friends don't do no damn wrong. Especially, if they Mel Gibson or Dan, or what's his name? Ted Danson. So the latest, they said that Manny and Sunny's lawyers have served a formal notice to the insurance company seeking $5 million in defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, the couple hired Legal Eagle, Mark Garagos, that man gets around a lot, last week. They said, we reported, and now Hostin is speaking out against American Transit, the insurance company, alleging the company has filed a frivolous lawsuit against her husband and says, as a desperate attempt to avoid paying for medical and surgical procedures to people it insures who are in pain, she said in an exclusive statement to Page 6 on Monday morning. So, on Sunday, Garagos sent a letter to American Transit lawyers threatening to countersue for $5 million if the company did not withdraw its case and issue apology. Now, the reason why I bring this up, because Sunny didn't mention, as she said the company has filed a frivolous lawsuit against her husband, and says that this is a desperate attempt to avoid paying for medical and surgical procedures for people in insurance who were in pain. Now, with her saying this, some people decided to take a gander and look back at an episode of The View she did during Hot Topics, and this was during the holidays, where she mentions in something about, I'm trying to remember exactly what I think it was something to do with, it might have been about the whole insurance thing with Luigi and that sort of thing. And she was like, oh, I agree with what mostly everybody is up here is saying, but then had brought up something in regards to her husband and some insurance and how he fights with the insurance companies and all this stuff. I do have that clip, courtesy of the Twitter. So I want y'all to watch that clip, and then we'll come back with the rest of the story. Please hold.
Wait, hold on. Let Sunny get in here.
I agree with mostly everything that's been said. We know that, only about 31% of Americans trust our healthcare system. We have a terrible healthcare system. And, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband, operates on someone even though they don't have insurance, and then has to sue health insurance companies to get paid for the work that he's been trained his whole life to do. So there are a lot of problems with it. But the notion that we are in a violent country, this country was built on violence. We're a very violent country. And it's just undeniable that that's the case. And so I'm not, unfortunately, surprised that people are celebrating the use of violence. I'm not surprised that this young man thought that change could be accomplished through violence. 1 in 4 Americans say violence against government sometimes is justified. And today, in 2024, 1 in 10 Americans say violence is justified right now against corporations and government.
That's very scary.
Those are just.
And even though I don't think he might change.
Okay, so we'll pause it there. And it's funny how they said someone was like, "Oh, it's very scary," because a lot of them on that panel, that panel pissed me off that day. So I was kind of glad that Sunny said what she said. But then some people be like, "Oh, well, this alluding to the fact that yeah, your husband could have been caught up in a RICO charge because it's like, yeah, he's fighting with these insurance companies where it's like they don't have the money to be able to pay for the surgeries. He's going out of his way, and he owns his own practice, so he's going out of his way to do these surgeries on these people. And yeah, he's hitting up these people not necessarily for a kickback, but it's because a lot of these insurance companies, they deny wanting to give people the health care and stuff that they need to be covered. So he's fighting with these people for them to do what they need to do. And this is like an ongoing thing that I'm thinking that many Americans are realizing, that the overall scams that a lot of these insurance companies pull. We're putting so much money into these insurance companies to be able to cover us. And then when it comes down to it, y'all want to sit and deny us the healthcare. Why am I having to pay money for cancer treatment? Whereas in other countries, they have like universal healthcare where it's completely covered and you don't hear no kind of stress issues or whatever on the economy. They're not hurting. And I kind of wish there was a progressive Democrat that would come out and be like, even if it's not necessarily true, because quiet as it's kept, the other side, they just fed y'all a bunch of BS and y'all went for it. I wish there was somebody that would come out and be like, you know what? We're going to give $30 minimum wage, or you're going to get health care for all, and really follow through with that. How are you going to pay for it? They'll figure that out. If y'all can find a blank check to send over there to Ukraine and some damn Israel to drop bombs on freaking Gaza, then you can find the money to be able to give us universal health care. You can be able to find the money to be able to help the people in this country instead of just giving billions of dollars to other people, so that way you can help with whatever interest that you billionaire corporations are benefiting from. So it kind of made me wonder where her bringing that up, and that was a prelude that she knew that something was coming. Not saying that she was trying to look at it as a way of putting her husband on blast or whatever the case was, but this, in a way, I feel like goes to show that, you know what, even as her husband being a doctor, that there's a lot of BS and red tape that he has to go through to just be able to do his job and help people. So do I think that there's a possibility that her husband was out here doing some scams and stuff? I don't think he is. I don't think he needs to, especially with his career and Sunny and all the money that she's making doing The View and all her other side projects. Sidebar, when I heard that they own a 10-bedroom, 10-bath house in New York, I'm like, who the hell needs all that space? Especially when it's just her and her husband, because I think the kids moved out. So, yeah, I don't think her kids live with her anymore. They're off in college. So I'm like, who needs that much space? And she said she owns chickens. So she ain't got to worry about if she need to make eggs. Just go out to the backyard, get some of them eggs that them chickens been pushing out, hatching, and make me a quiche or make me some, something that need eggs. So you also know that Sunny, who's also an attorney, said in her statement that the $5 million figure is an amount that is likely to increase as the reputational damage that American Transit has intentionally caused is difficult to quantify at this time. Now, the ABC host also accused the insurer of using her celebrity status on the daytime talk show to start a distinguished media smear campaign against my husband, which included me and our children. Now, American Transit, as she said, quote, American Transit is harassing me and my family in a frantic attempt to not pay its bills. Our family will not be intimidated and harassed. We remain unbowed. This is what she said in a statement. And a Bronx native, who's 56, accused the insurance company of engaging in despicable acts like harassing doctors. Now, Hostin also mentioned a lawsuit in her statement filed by Uber Technologies against American Transit, as well as an alleged previous investigation by New York State, claiming the company is on the verge of bankruptcy. She concluded her statement by writing, she said, let me be clear. Where I come from, American Transit will receive a PhD from Fafo University, as in fuck around and find out. Okay. I said, okay, you better bring that sass. Now she says Sonny Husband, well, they said Sonny Husband is one of the 200 doctors named in American Transit lawsuit alleging that the doc knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries. Now his lawyer, Daniel Thwaites, previously blasted the allegations as a blanket, scattershot, meritless lawsuit by a near bankrupt insurance carrier. Now on Sunday, a lawyer repping American Transit, William Natbany of Cadwallader. What the hell is all of that? Oh, that's the names. Cadwallader, Wickersham, and Taft. I guess that's the lawyer company, the legal team. Said to page 6, said American Transit commenced its lawsuit as part of its statutory responsibility to fight no-fault fraud, which is rampant in New York. The allegations of the complaint speak for themselves. With respect to any allegations by a defendant is to improper conduct by American Transit or its counsel, such assertion as emphatically denied as without basis. And with all the scams and BS that comes through with these insurance companies, I'm sorry, but blanket statement, I'm Team Sonny and her husband on this. I do not think that he would need to do any of this other stuff. And look, I know you can't put nothing past a lot of people, and you be surprised what people do in type of situations, but I don't feel like he needs to do any kind of insurance for his stuff in exchange for kickbacks, especially when he has a successful practice. He has Sonny for a wife who is successful on television, all this stuff. All the money they got flowing through, and the fact that he's a fraternity dude and she's an AKA and all this other stuff. Trust and believe. They are living large. They are amongst the elites. Like they hobnob with the likes of the Kamala Harris types and all other stuff. So they are Black Hollywood or Black royalty within a lot of those spaces where they go to Martha's Vineyard. I know because I used to be a kid that used to go to Martha's Vineyard growing up. So I know that those type of people that go out there. So I'm not buying this story in regards of, I see what these insurance people are trying to do. And look, as powerful as Sonny Hostin is, and knowing how she is in the legal world and all other stuff, she'll be able to fight this. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know if they've talked about it on The View. I haven't watched The View in the last couple of episodes, so I don't know if they brought it up. But I know like this is getting big. She's finally responded, and I ask all of you, what do you guys think of this story in regards to Sonny Hostin? Talking about they're about to go to Fafo University. We keep messing with her and trying to create false allegations against her and her husband and harassing her and stuff. So, what do y'all think of the latest story regarding what Sonny had to say in regards to these insurance fraud accusations? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below.